All right, let's do some nickels. All right, let's make sure that they are circulated. There we go. And we'll check for enders. And those look circulated. Let's get into this. All right, no enders in there, but our first roll, we did have a find, and that's going to be a 1949. Let's flip that over. And that is a Philadelphia. Oh, we got a line going through there. It almost looked like a lamination peel. I don't know what that is. I think it's just staining, but a 1949 Philadelphia. All right, roll number 3, and we had an ender. It looked old, and I checked it, 1958, right on the end of the roll. Let's see if it's got a mint mark. That does have a Denver mint mark. We got nickel number 2. All right, I think this is roll number 5, and we're making money, guys. Look at this. I think that's a dime. We got a dime in there. Let's see what we got. Oh, it's rolling right out of there. Is it a dime? Yep, that is a dime. What is that? 64. All right, we made a nickel. Very next roll, we got a 1955 right there. We want to check the back of this. This could be a lower mint nickel. And that is the Denver. The Denver, I believe, is the easier one to get. And we also had a 2025 in here. I'm starting to see a lot of 2025s. All right, a couple of rolls later, guys, we are in the 30s. 1939. If this is a Philadelphia, we need to check it for the double die. So let's go ahead and flip it over. If it's got a mint mark, it's going to be a more rare nickel. It is a Philadelphia. So let's look, see if we can spot some doubling. You want to look in the words Monticello and 5 cents. I do not see any doubling. It's really noticeable on 5 cents and on the L's of the Monticello. It's just going to be a regular 1939 Philadelphia. Very next roll, we had a Canadian 1987 nickel. Let's go ahead and flip that over. Oh, I flipped it the wrong way, of course. It's got Young Head on there. And over here, we had another 1958. Let's see if it had a mint mark. That one's in pretty good condition. And that is a Denver. Very next roll, we had a 1975 Denver. Now, on this coin, you should always check for one thing. The 1975 D, you're looking for the misplaced D. The mint mark would be higher up. It would be between the ribbon in his ponytail and the number 5. If you find one that's higher up, those can go for like $50 to $100 in really good shape. So that's one you definitely want to keep your eyes open for. All right, guys, we got something awesome. I think I'm in roll like 20 something. Just opened this one, dumped it out, and look what pops out. Right there. It couldn't have flopped out any better. We got a giant P mint mark right above the dome of Monticello, so we know that this is going to be a silver nickel. Let's go ahead and pop this out of there. The back of it has some damage, it looks like. Yeah, it's got, looks like it got whacked by something, but that is silver. Let's flip it over. 1944, that is a silver nickel, 35% silver. They started making these in 1942, but not all 42s are silver. You have to look for those giant mint marks above the dome, and they go until 1945. All right, it's been a couple of rolls, and I finally got an oldie right there, 1952. I'm going to flip that over and see if there's a mint mark. And there is. It's an S mint mark. We got a 1952 S. All right, another one in the 40s. Look at this. Another 1949. That is my second 1949 for this box. Let's go ahead and flip it over. And that is another Denver. All right, let's keep going. All right, we've only got a few rolls left, and I just found another oldie. We almost made it into the 30s again. 1941. That was a 41. He's got a big bump on his head. Looks like somebody drilled into him. And that is a Denver mint mark. We got 5 rolls left, and I just found a 1952. This is our second 1952 for the box. Let's flip it over. And that is going to be, that's a Denver, 1952. Well, we are all done with the hunt. Got lots of 40s and 50s. We even got one in the 30s. And we got this beautiful wartime nickel. This was a 1944, 35% silver. That's a pretty awesome box. No buffaloes this time. Come back again. We'll hunt another box. We'll see you next time. As always, happy hunting.